Greetings, family. Welcome to this week's Midweek Motivation segment. I am Dr. A.C. Jordan Sr., proud pastor, Community Baptist Church in El Paso, Texas. On the Sunday before Mother's Day, I preached a sermon entitled, Hold On. And in that sermon, we examined the story of Noah still being on the ark, which is found in the 8th chapter of Genesis. And within that text, we examined that Noah and his family and all the animals were still on the ark. God had brought them through the 40 days and the 40 nights of rain, but yet they had to remain on the ark for another 150 days before they can get off and go out into the land. And we looked at how God had Noah in a holding pattern. He had him in a situation where he was keeping him for an extended amount of time, but Noah didn't know anything about this prior to going into this situation. And brothers and sisters, when we are going through things sometime in life, when we are going through our keeping phase, when we are in our holding patterns, we try to encourage ourselves, or if we know someone else in that situation, we try to encourage them. And we often use the phrase, the best is yet to come. That phrase, the best is yet to come, means that life may be good right now, or it may not be as good as you think or that you want it to be, or it may not be good enough, but we still have hope and we still believe that the best is yet to come. We need to realize that we can make our lives as good as our mindsets. So brothers and sisters, family, be positive and hopeful and believe that things will be better and the future hold things which are the best for you. It is natural for human beings to use our experiences from the past to inform how we respond to things in the present. However, we must remember that how we respond to our conditions is often more critical than the actual conditions themselves. Sometimes when God is keeping us in our keeping situation or our holding pattern, we may stay there so long that we started off by thanking him for allowing us to be there. But after a while, we end up asking him, Lord, why am I still here? Sometime in the place where God places us, we begin by being thankful for being there. And we begin by doing a work, and it seems like we are doing a service. But after a while, that service seems like a sentence. In the beginning, the work we do it, and it feels like we're doing it with passion. But by some time, we get to the point to where we start to think that we are only laborers or prisoners. Sometimes we feel like God has forgotten about us, and we begin to wonder, and we begin to question, why am I still here? Everything around you have moved on. The world is still turning. But yet, you wake up and you go to bed still in that same situation. But family, I come to encourage you. While you're reflecting on where God still has you, and while you're reflecting on those past experiences to form your decision and your assumption about your present condition, don't forget about where God has brought you from. Don't forget that God has done it over and over and over again. And if he's done it in the past, I'm a living witness that he can and he will do it again. We must remember that our present situation is not our final destination. Family, the best is yet to come. When we are reflecting, we need to think that maybe the God has us in that position for a certain reason. He will have us there because he don't want us to advance yet to where he is going to take us, because he don't want us to deal with some things that are there right now. There are some problems, there are some conditions, there are some debris, there's some mess that you don't have anything to do with. He don't want you to have to deal with those situations. So God is going to hold you right where you are so that he can go ahead of you Clean up what is up there so that you can just walk into it and not have to worry about cleaning up a mess that you didn't put down. When we are going through those situations, yes, sometimes it seems painful, but we need to learn how to turn our pain into our purpose. The life that we live, it's not about waiting for the storm to pass or waiting for the pain to pass, but it's learning about how to dance in the rain and dance through the pain. God kept us during our covering season. For Noah, his covering season was the 40 days and 40 nights of the rain. But the same instrument that God used to keep him for his covering, he's going to use to keep him for his keeping. Yes, he went through 40 days and 40 nights of covering. Now God needs to have him for 150 days of keeping, still inside of that same ark. And if you look at the numbers, you will realize that the keeping season is 3 times and almost 4 times as long as the covering season. So when you are going through your situation, just know that God is working it out for you. Yes, it may seem like your keeping season is going on for a long time, but just trust and believe God is working it out for you. You may not have that new job yet, but right now during your keeping season, you are still employed and able to provide for your family. He's keeping you. You may not have that new home yet, but yet in your keeping season, you still have a roof over your head. God is still keeping you. And we need to learn how to praise him in our keeping phase, from the beginning all the way through the end. And we must realize that the only reason that God may be taking so long with you is because he has something absolutely extraordinary, unique, and amazing for you. Brothers and sisters, family, the best is yet to come. Just hold on a little while longer and everything will be all right. Hold on because the change is going to come. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning time. Your morning time and your best is yet to come. Be blessed, be encouraged, be motivated. See you next week.